Hello, me again. What's the topic for today, you're wondering? I'm sorry if there's a little bit of a breeze rustling in the background, but we're currently up and out and about and having a walk. I weighed myself this morning, 16 stone, 7 pounds. That's disgraceful. Honestly, okay, let's bore you with some facts now. You all know that I had cancer, so I lost some weight to try and help me fight it, and I got myself down to 14 stone, 8 pounds, and I looked fabulous. I felt really good as well. Since I've been sitting on my bum during lockdown, not doing an awful lot, feeling sorry for myself, I put all the weight back on again. So I'm out walking again. I love walking, and this is a place I often end up. This is St Mary's Church in Martham, and it's associated graveyard. It is really, really peaceful, really beautiful here. I know people are saying graveyards aren't beautiful, but you know what, they are. They really are. Okay, this one's fairly well maintained. It's still quite wild. You get wildlife in here as well, but it's lovely. It's so serene, so quiet. You can sit and think, which is the beauty of these places. You can wander around. I love to wander around and look at the gravestones and read the inscriptions on them. I find them incredibly fascinating. Anyway, I'm not here to wax lyrical about graveyards and gravestones and churches. I'm actually here to do a little bit of video work, just to show you how another bit of kit that I've got works. So, over onto the technical side of things, I'll introduce you to the gimbal. Don't worry if it looks a bit weird, because that section's going to be filmed in my back garden, because I'm going to look a bit weird sitting on the bench in the cemetery, taking apart lots of bits and pieces and going, this is a gimbal that works with my phone, with lots of people wandering past, because there's a pathway that goes through the graveyard, leads from one side of the village to the other, and lots of people use it. So, anyway, but I may wander around afterwards and take some pics if I've got enough time. I do have to rush home because I am cooking lunch today. Spaghetti bolognese, if anybody's interested. But anyway, over to the gimbal, and then we'll show you some footage from here to show you so you can see how it works and what I'm talking about. Okay, so I lied. It's not my back garden, it's my dining room. I ran out of time to try and get the filming done in the garden, and by the time I got home, got myself sorted out, it was cold, it was getting dark, and I'm like, I can't film out here, so I came inside instead. So I happened to sort of mention the term gimbal in the last sort of section of video, and left you wondering, what the hell is a gimbal? Basically, it's one of these. Okay, it's a device that you use to put a camera or a phone into, and it helps you then to steady yourself while you're filming footage. At the moment, you go out and sort of filming, I'll demonstrate with my mobile phone because it's a mobile phone gimbal that I'm using. You're kind of holding your phone up like this and filming, you know, and lock your elbows in tight to yourself. They form yourself a platform to film with, so it steadies it. Mobile phones have their own stabilisers as well, which does help when you're filming, but this smooths the motion out completely, so it's like it's gliding. What I've done, I filmed a couple of short sessions in the St Mary's Church graveyard earlier on, so you can see what I'm talking about, me using the gimbal with my mobile phone on it, and just using my mobile phone to do some filming as I walked through the graveyard. So, how does it work? Basically what you do, you unlock it all, and it's all flippity floppity. It's a technical term, by the way. Yeah. Then what you do is, on the top here, you see there's like a little thing that you put your mobile phone in. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to set it all up, put my phone in there so you can see what it looks like, and then I'll show you what it does, and then we'll go back and have a look at the footage that I filmed in the graveyard, and we can see exactly how it works as well. Okay, back in a sec with the phone in here. Okay, so here it is with my phone in it. Ooh, it's a bit red, you can see. So what I've got is this screen will face towards me, and the phone's going to film using its camera on the back here. Yeah, he's there. Using this camera here. It's actually got its own software, its own app that you download, so you can actually use it with that. On the gimbal itself, can you see that there? It's got a whole series of things that you can use to actually move it about. So what I'm going to do now, I'm now going to turn it on so you can see what it does. Can you see how that's now solid? So if I move it, the gimbal moves with the phone. And it'll keep it facing forwards while I'm moving it. Okay, you also have a little joystick here that you can use. Can you see that there? And that moves the phone as well. So I tilt it, then bring it back down again. And you can pan it left and right. So what you get is really, really smooth. I'll just put it back towards me so I can see what the hell I'm doing with it. There we go. So it's a really handy device. I normally have a handle on the bottom of it as well that I use because it's a lot easier to hold it, because this little handle here is not very big. Okay, so it's a bit of a job to get hold of it and work it at the same time. So I have another handle that I've screwed onto the bottom of it to hold it steady. I forgot to take my handle with me earlier on when I went to the church to do some filming, so it's not as good as it should be. And I hasten to add, I'm still learning how to use this. I'm quite good with my bigger gimbal that I use for my camcorder, but I'm not so great with this one. So we're all in the learning process here, but it is a really good bit of kit, especially if you're sort of filming a landscape, or if you're like walking through an area and filming, because you don't get this. So what I'll do, I'm going to stick the videos up that I filmed in the graveyard now, so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about, and you can see. I'm going to put them one above the other and label each one so you can see if it says gimbal, no gimbal. And you'd be surprised actually at the difference, especially with one section where I'm walking across the grass, and the difference when I'm walking down the path, which is quite interesting. So over to that, let's have a look at that footage and then we'll come back and discuss that. Okay, so back to St Mary's. So there you go. As you can see, when I'm walking across the more bumpy ground, across the grass itself, and unfortunately walk across a few of the graves as well, which I felt quite bad about afterwards. But you can see the up and down motion of when I'm actually walking myself, as opposed to having my phone on the gimbal, smooths it out. And also the nice sort of panning you can get when you've got your phone mounted in the gimbal. When you pan, it's such a smooth sort of gliding process. It's really quite nice, not jarring. Surprisingly, walking along the path, the actual tarmac path and filming, there wasn't an awful lot of difference between handheld and using the gimbal mount that I've got here, which surprised me a little bit because I want to think it'd be slightly different. But I have to say, I was doing a bit of a ninja walk. That's a process that cameramen use to actually sort of walk very carefully. I would do a ninja walk demonstration, but I haven't got a lot of room in my dining room to do that. And it's not a pretty sight to see me trying to walk along with my fat gut and stuff, so I won't torture you with that one. But I'll try and find a good YouTube vid and I'll put a link down the bottom so you can understand how to ninja walk and film at the same time. Quite why I'm telling you all this, I don't know, but there we go. It's just, I suppose, to give you an idea of the things that you can use to try and improve your footage if you want to. Not many people do. Most people are quite happy with what they've got. You know, you can throw it on there. If you're not too worried about the presentation and what you're doing, then don't worry, keep doing what you're doing. I'm very conscious of the fact that I'm trying to produce sort of more quality videos, I suppose you could say. Trying very hard to sort of lift the format that I've already got and make it look that slight bit better. And I'm interested in an awful lot of the YouTube vloggers, guys on there that sort of do filming and things, interested in what they do, and I watch quite a lot of those videos to learn different techniques, and I learned about gimbals from watching those, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to get myself one of those. Gimbal itself, I don't even know how you pronounce it, but it's that company there, Aochan, something like that. Anyway, yeah, there we go, Aochan. And it cost me the princely sum of £76. Ordered it direct from China. Didn't get charged any customs fees, which is quite good. There are more expensive versions. There's a company called DJI which make gimbals, and they're quite pricey. So, but that's what it says on the tin. It's perfectly good. Works fine in conjunction with the app that I've got on it as well. That works brilliantly too. So, if you want to sort of take that stretch and do something a little bit different with it, then you can. But anyway, while I was up at the graveyard, I took some pictures of some of the stones there as well, so I'm going to share them with you now, and then that'll be for me back at St Mary's finishing off. I hope you learned something from this. You probably didn't, but I'm trying to mix up my content a little bit so you get, you know, a little bit of everything. As I already said in previous videos, I'm a very visual kind of person. I do enjoy making videos and editing videos, and I'm learning all the time while I'm doing this as well. So if you look at some of my early stuff, you realise how far I've actually come with this, and anyone can do it, because I'm not clever. You know, I'm not a genius. I've had no formal training in this whatsoever, and if I can do it, anybody can. And I bet there's loads of you there watching this who could do a darn sight better job than me. Anyway, back to St Mary's, and we'll have a look at some of those stones, and then I'll finish it off. So that's it from my dining room. Bye for now. That we love about this graveyard is we've still got this here. Stone was put here ages ago. I remember photographing it at least a year ago, and no one's come and took it, which is beautiful because it's so fantastic. I'll just spin it around so you can have a look and see what I'm talking about. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. So beautifully done. I love the fact that someone's took the time to do that, put it on a war memorial, and somebody else has come along and added this one. We'll just step back so you can see the memorial itself. So there everyone, I hope that sort of explains how the gimbal works. I'm still learning, I have to say. I'm learning an awful lot more about videography, I suppose is the best word used to describe it. I'm currently holding my phone at arm's length to actually get myself in. I really do need to have a handle to put it on. I have got one that I forgot to bring with me today, so it just goes to show how organised I am when I do these things. But yeah, it's nice to come here, do a little bit of filming, and it really is quite beautiful here. And like I showed you, we've got some beautiful stones here in our local graveyard, and maybe I'll come back and show you some more. Okay, not so paranormal, but you know, it's nice just to share this. I do have a love for graveyards and cemeteries. I do love to wander around. I find them such peaceful, calming places, and it helps, you know, when your mind's a bit of a muddle, when your mind's a bit of a mess, just to come and sit and think. And we've got benches and everything here in our graveyard you can sit on and just think, just wander around and read the epitaphs on the stones and get a sense, you know, of life, especially when you're feeling particularly low like I do sometimes. I come here and think to myself, yeah, there's people here that lived a life, and I wonder myself what their lives were like. But that is a whole other video. Take care everyone, we'll catch you again soon.